Everyday Iowa, as we've alluded to and as you've seen, there's been a lot of rain in eastern Iowa the last few weeks, and so we figured we'd call on some pros to talk about maybe you're having some issues in your basement. Joining us from True North Restoration, Katie Hillier, who sits directly to my left. Next to her, Eric Skovgaard. Did I pronounce it right, Eric?
Long O. Skovgaard.
Skovgaard.
So
I even rehearsed.
So
I came in at 3 this morning to rehearse. But first of all, thank you guys for being here and coming back to Everyday Iowa. Let's address the elephant in the room. There's been a lot of rain. Yesterday morning at my house, 2.5 inches of rain. That's just one piece of anecdotal evidence. What are you guys hearing? What's been keeping you guys busy?
Yeah, so much rain. I mean, we've heard from a lot of people who've lived in their home for decades and have never had water in their basement, and now they're starting to see it. So down here in Cedar Rapids, I think the month of July we had 7-ish inches. Up in the Cedar Valley, I think I saw 11 inches.
And it depends on where you are.
Yeah,
because it's very variable.
It does.
But it's finding a way in spots that it's never found its way in before, from what I gather.
A lot of people who've got, you know, maybe something going on with their foundation that they didn't realize, or sometimes it's even just a matter of, you know, poor drainage around their home. They need to have some tiling done or grading done. Yeah, so water can find its way in. When there's enough water, it's got to go somewhere.
And not only that, but the water that comes in, a lot of us, we were just talking off the air, sump pumps. Yeah, a lot of folks have a sump pump, but a lot of sump pumps are having a hard time keeping up with all this rain. I mean, they haven't had to work out like they've had to the last few months here in eastern Iowa.
And they do, and they need electricity. And so when the power goes out, a lot of times if people don't have backups, the sub pump doesn't work, and boom, you have a couple inches of water in your basement.
Well, and Katie, you were telling me too, and full disclosure, we've discussed this. There's water sensors. You can get sent alerts of, hey, something's not working right.
Yep.
Come here, I need help with something, is what the sump pump is telling
And
you.
I totally recommend that people get, you can buy them on Amazon, you can buy them at a local home improvement store, just little water sensors. You can have the kind that's just a, you know, an audible alarm, or that are connected to your phone that give you an alert. So if you're not home, someone can go check them. We've had customers that's what's happened to them. They've called a neighbor's gone and checked. They're very inexpensive. You can put them near your sump pump, near your appliances, you know, your refrigerator, especially if you've got a water line, your washing machine, anywhere that you have water or potential for water issues, you should put one of those in your home.
Now let's talk about symptoms. Obviously, the first one is if you can see it. I mean, okay, there's standing water, there's an issue. What are some other things to look for, or maybe listen or smell for?
Yeah, well, you hit on one at the end there. We get a lot of calls where people will say, I don't really see anything, but there's something funky going on in my basement. They smell something, and nine times out of 10, that's mold, and there's water that's gotten involved in it, and yeah, we need to figure out where it's coming from.
Well, and with this humid weather, I'm assuming too, it doesn't take long for stuff to grow that you don't want to grow in the basement.
Yeah, and a lot of times it grows, you know, behind the wall. So most of our homes have drywall in them. The backside of that drywall is actually perfect food for mold. So mold needs moisture and it needs food to grow. And so that papery material on the back of the gypsum board is perfect for mold to grow.
Even if I have green board, it still will grow, is what you're telling me. That's not the end-all be-all, huh?
And it takes a while for it to come through to the front side. So it's usually, if you see it on the front side, it's been growing for a while on the back. A lot of people think they can just spray a little bleach and wipe it off. That's not really going to take care of it. It's going to, you know, bleach the look of it or the appearance, but the mold is still embedded within that material.
And that's why we bring people like you to the table, because this is what you do. This is your expertise. So, okay, Eric, I can tell I've got some water in my basement. I call you guys, and then what happens?
Yeah, so we come in, we do an inspection, and we have a couple different things we can do. We can do testing, or we can do an inspection.
Okay.
Normally we'd come in and do an inspection, and so this fancy device called a FLIR is an infrared device, and so we're able to hold it up to walls or people. And it shows us, like to Katie's point, if there's something going on behind the wall that we can't see.
I'm going to take this. I'm going to let Sean get a pic. While you're talking about it, I'm going to let Sean get a nice tight shot of that there. So this handy-dandy little thing, something this is only trusted to professionals, ladies and gentlemen.
So yeah, you can see your arm is the yellowish color because you are warm. You're not cold. You're human. And then the area around
tell me that. Thank you. I appreciate that.
So we use that to look for cold spots, you know, behind the wall or in the floor, in the ceiling, which usually is an indicator of water, or can be an indicator of of water. This also, it
I'm
does
afraid
more
to
than
touch
just,
it. It looks
does
expensive.
more than just the thermal. It is. It does more than just the thermal. It will also tell us, so you can see along the top, which you probably got in the shot, the atmospheric reading. So what's the temperature, what's the humidity here, and then
so
also.
now you're seeing, so now what am I looking at right now? Is this looking at the table, or is this whatever this is pointed at here?
That's the table.
It's looking underneath. Yep.
Okay, so if I put it over my coffee mug, will it pick up the water in the coffee mug?
How cold is your coffee?
Pretty cold. I've had it since about 8 this morning. So all kidding aside, it starts with a phone call. It starts with a conversation. How do people do that?
Yeah, they can call us. Our number is 319-220-3228. That number rings centrally for both of our corridor location and our Cedar Valley location. Yep. And then we kind of talk through the situation with the customer. What are you seeing? What are you smelling? Have you had water that you know of? And then again, like Eric said, depending on what they have going on, what they need, we can either schedule an inspection, or we also can do mold testing if, maybe there's nothing visible, but they're having, a lot of times people are having allergic reactions, and maybe their doctor's recommed having their home
And you don't
tested.
just let anybody touch this.
Yeah.
Don't
You're actually the first person outside of True
Don't expect them to
North
come to your house and let you play with that. So website one more time for everybody, please.
Yeah, it's iowa.gotruenorth.com.
Awesome. Katie, thanks for coming in this morning.
Thank
Eric
you.
Scovegard, thanks for coming in
Very
this
good.
morning. Other details at KCRG.com. Stick around. We will be right back and preview what you will see right here tomorrow.